Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
All right. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Yeah, by the grace of God.
All right, Chief, Mayor, you're all set. You're live. You're recording. It's your meeting.
We are meeting. Okay. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
And look, we even got, this is an official call because we even got Donna in on the call.
Yeah, we've actually got Assistant Chiefs Gifford and Thompson here with us. We're spaced apart here, but we got everybody in on it, so
Good.
can't see them.
And I see Karen's already making flower arrangements this morning.
Oh, yes. That started at 6 o'clock this morning.
Good, good. Industrious today.
Yes, right.
All right. Chief, I think it'd be a great time at the beginning of our meeting if I could express our appreciation and congratulations to your two new assistant chiefs. It took us a long time to fill out your command structure.
Yeah.
I think the entire council is appreciative of the way you managed through the time when you did not have a complete command structure. But delighted that you have the two assistant chiefs that you have today. So gentlemen, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Definitely. We're getting up to speed, getting them all learning some new roles and responsibilities, but I can already feel a little bit of relief, and that's much appreciated because it's been a grind for the past 6-8 months. So, but now it's glad to have them as well. And we announced our battalion chief and our captain promotion, which was our trickle down effect all the way down the line. We announced that yesterday. So the newest battalion chief, if you haven't heard, was for the council members was Jeremy Mullins, and the newest captain is Will. So we've just kind of trickled down, and now we're just got to fill the firefighter vacancies that we have at some point soon.
Karen and Mark, Megan and the chief put together a pretty good interview committee. They held those interviews for the battalion chief and the new captain at City Hall, and just made those appointments yesterday. So yesterday was a pretty exciting day for the chief and the department.
Okay.
I'm not sure, Mark, Karen, I'm not sure which of you all actually chair this committee.
Mark does.
Mark does. That was very quick. or if we just want Eric, Chief Colson, to kind of lead us through what he's got on his plate, however you all would like to proceed.
Yeah, I've got just a little bit of a presentation put together that we can share the screen with and kind of walk through a few things and kind of get you up to speed on kind of what we got going on and a little bit of forecasting of some concerns that we see coming down the road that we'll definitely need your guys' help on. But first off, we want to thank you all for your all's work and your all's vote for the raises, the $5,000 across the board for the firefighters and the $1,000 for everyone else. We Donna's trying to work on the slides here it's showing the first slide. You'll need to change it, but so we just wanted to thank you guys and yes, it's a raise, but I look at it as an investment in our folks, and we appreciate you all investing in our department, in our guys, and I've always preached that you guys get a huge bang for your buck and what you're spending on the fire department, and it's much appreciated, and And I want you all to not look at it as a raise or a burden for your employees, but I look at it as an investment because we're, and I'm going to show you in a few later slides that we're putting a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort and energy into these guys. And it really is painful to watch them walk away to other opportunities. So I think this is a start. Hopefully there's more to come and we bounce back from all the COVID issues and the restraints that we have there, but and continue to invest in these folks. Secondly, you guys also took notice and passed our request of kind of a restructure within our organization. And what that did gave us 2 assistant chiefs and it allows us to distribute the workload. And actually, it's a restructure of the command staff, but we took this opportunity to really change the way we're going to operate. We're looking at, we're already putting in place several things, and I'll dive into that in just a minute. But you can see here our command staff is made up of, I'm chief, assistant chief operations is Gifford, our fire marshal, assistant chief of fire prevention. His role changed slightly. His plate was pretty full to begin with, but we've managed to add a little bit on his plate and responsibility with this title, but that's Tim Thompson. And then our admin assistant, which keeps us all straight and keeps us all moving in the right direction, and is Donna also. So just kind of wanted to let you guys, I think most of you know those individuals, but just a quick reminder, a name with a face, and remind you of kind of what your actions did for us and the restructure. With the restructure, we've always kind of had battalion chiefs, which are shift supervisors, overseeing a lot of things as well. And whether it was vehicle maintenance, station maintenance, safety, PPE and equipment, training, we've always leaned on those guys heavily to carry a big load of that. And that has always kind of taken away from them supervising their shifts, being involved with their shifts, helping develop their shifts. And so we just wanted to take a look at that and see what we could do different. We've always tried to play to their strong suits, like Battalion Chief Oliver. He's good on station maintenance type stuff, so we leaned on him for that. When I was a battalion chief, I took care of training. Battalion Chief Smith now takes care of that. We had vehicle maintenance, which was that's always a big chore. There's always something breaking, something needs just general maintenance and routine maintenance. So that had kind of been depending on individuals, shared with the battalion chief. I kept that as the assistant chief, and we had Gifford assume more of a PPE and safety type oversight. So what we're doing, the changes that we've made is basically our battalion chiefs moving forward are strictly just going to be involved in some sort of the training mechanism, which will allow them to be more hands-on with their guys and help develop. But in that, the assistant chief operations, he's going to control the day-to-day operations, make sure the shift guys have what they need, the tools they need, staffing, and just give oversight and assist those folks. Make sure we're just operational ready for any task that comes our way. We're just not firemen. We're responding to medical calls. We're a variety of technical aspects that we're responsible for the city. And he's going to continue that oversight of his safety, PPE, air packs, all that kind of stuff, and give oversight to training, even though the battalion chiefs are going to carry the heavy load on some of that now. And then he's got a quick crash course in the vehicle maintenance since he's taken that seat. We've had quite a few things going on. So he's taking care of that. For Tim, obviously he's busy with code enforcement a majority of the time. And his fire marshal responsibilities and code enforcement are primarily what he's taking care of. that also, that obviously involves fire prevention and public relations, but we're throwing the facility building maintenance on to his plate. We have a system of reporting any problems that, triggers an email to him, and he's not had quite the crash course that Gifford has so far, but I think he's getting ready to get into a few issues there. But so we've eliminated those responsibilities from the battalion chiefs, and I know again Tim has a tremendous crew down there taking care of code enforcement, and that probably takes up 60 to 70% of his time. So Matthew does the bulk and heavy lifting on the prevention and inspection side of things, and Tim kind of just
good. Hey, Chief, in that upper left picture, which one's Tim?
He's got the red hair. But yes.
I'm sorry, I just couldn't resist. It was too good an opportunity, Tim.
But yeah, yeah, it's so what that does, and again, it's something we believed in. We've talked about just over the years, and something we just kind of felt like we wanted to do. We just never could pull the trigger, so we did it. And you all obviously allowed us to do that structurally, and stuff with the grade change and the title changes and things of that nature. But what that did was just allow us to go ahead, pull the trigger, and make this work the way we envision it. So it will allow our battalion chiefs to really focus and engage and develop our younger guys.
Chief, just a comment for Karen and Mark's benefit. Karen's aware, but every year the mayor is obligated to sit down with the members of the Georgetown Fire Department in a formal meeting that's called a meet and confer. And it was a part of a fire settlement a number of years ago that this is a required annual meeting for communication. The fire department personnel have asked Georgetown professional firefighters to represent them in that annual meet and confer. So for us, it's been a really good tool to understand what the rank and file are thinking. And what pleases me when we've had these meetings with the rank and file, first off, a couple of years ago, you all know that Chief Colson asked for administrative help for several years before we found a way to be able to fund it for him. The meet and confer, the rank and file supported that initiative because they knew that getting someone like Donna involved would free up their leadership to do other things. The meet and confer group has always advocated for these additional chief management positions. So not only is this something that Chief Colson and the fire administration have asked for, but the rank and file have supported these changes in ways that are very substantive. So that makes it a lot easier for me to recommend and for you all to act on. Sorry, Chief, go ahead.
Oh, you're fine. And again, yeah, Donna's more than just our admin assistant. She's our PR. I mean, she takes care of all the people that wander in here off the streets, and our receptionist, and she really helps the whole department, honestly. So she fills a lot of roles and not just an admin assistant. So, but back to the slide we have here, we feel like where we're at as a department, it is very important for our battalion chiefs to focus more on their crews than they were doing their jobs. They were doing what was asked of them, but we feel like their role is much more important than focusing on their guys at this moment. And part of that is just simply because I think you all know our experience level is not that great. We've gone through some turnover, and over the years, we've just kind of, lost a lot of our folks to other places, retirement, private sector, variety of reasons. But the slides there, I'm not sure if it's cutting you off, but right now, this kind of breaks down what we have in 5-year increments. 20 plus, we only have 2 individuals with that. We have 9 individuals with 15 years or more service, 7 with 10. And this, we actually went ahead and we had a few people that were going to hit the 5-year mark at the later on in this month, but we went ahead and threw them in this category. So you got 13 individuals with 5+ years, 20 individuals with less than 5, and currently we sit with 4 vacant positions. We were just fully staffed. Well, minus the assistant chief slot, we were fully staffed 6 months ago. We're already 4 short now. So that's kind of your years of service when you look at our department as a whole. So we think it's important for those battalion chiefs to really engage our younger folks, because we don't have a lot of experience. Once you count your command staff, your battalion chiefs, and your captains, really, all the firefighters are very young. So we want to develop those folks and prepare them to be successful. On the next slide, you'll essentially see, I just kind of broke it down that, the old system was a 20-year retirement. It's a little bit longer than that now, obviously, but, so 10 years was kind of always a halfway mark. And if you kind of look at it like that, it's a little bit frightening. So, and it plays into the reason why we've made the decisions that we've made to change the way we operate a bit. So 67% of the individuals that work for the fire department currently are less than 10 years on the job. So, and then the next slide just kind of breaks it down with less than 5. So obviously we got a lot of young boots on the ground, and that by category at the 5-year mark, again, we carried over a couple that were going to hit that in just a few days. So years of service below the 5-year mark are pretty hefty as well. 4 at 5 years, 6 at 4, 1 at 3, 7 with 2 years of experience. Our most recent recruit class of 6 individuals. And again, we're anticipating come January, maybe February, we got a hiring process going on right now, but January or February, we plan to hire probably 5 individuals. We got one that plans to retire in January. So we'll have another recruit class of looks like 5, I guess, potentially more individuals coming up first of the year. And like I say, we are hiring. It seems like we're always in the middle of a hiring process, and any Indian individuals that want a job, we're looking. We've done a few things on changing our restrictions over this past time. Actually, we're advertising mostly on Facebook. We've got flyers going out to a variety of places here in town and at EKU and other universities. We've got change that slide. We're reflecting the $5,000 raise we just got. But one of the things we've done is we've had to change our plan, so to speak, to try to get good, solid applicants, good kids, honestly, and try to develop them. So in order to do that, we've dropped our hiring age to 19. It's always been 21. This last process, we had dropped it to 19 just to compete. Other departments in Central Kentucky and across the state were doing that. So, and they were making more money, and it's hard to, once they're there, we're not going to get them back if our money wasn't right. So we're just trying to get them on the hook early. And so we followed suit and dropped that to age 19. And then we also dropped what had kind of, it's fluctuated back and forth over the years, the almost 20 years I've been here, but whether EMT was required or not. And for about 8 years, we had really honestly pretty much required that. You could apply if you didn't have it, but it was very tough to make it through the process and finish at the top if you didn't have it. So we've actually dropped that requirement as well. So again, I think I've talked about this in the previous fire committee meeting. We hired some super good guys, and have a ton of potential. And we were able to do that by changing our standards a little bit. The impact on that is we have to manage a lot of other things on the back end. And one of the 6 guys we hired, we've got to put 4 of them through the EMT class. Frankfort, we work closely with Frankfort on a lot of things, and they do have their service fire department does provide ambulance service to the community of Frankfort and Franklin County. So they have an EMT class that we were able to get in basically at cost, honestly. This next slide will kind of show what we got going on as far as the way of EMT class goes. And, our training budget is roughly $11,000. There's another line item we can pull through for rescue training, but primarily this line item has taken care of all our budget needs for training in the past. But just this one EMT class alone, sending 4 folks over there, we're 3 pay periods into them going to class, and we're, it's got expenses to it. So for student overtime, we're at 4,500. Unscheduled overtime just for staffing needs to keep our trucks adequately staffed because those guys are in the EMT class, 1,600. Again, Frankfort was gracious enough to basically allow us to send 4 folks over there to just primarily pay for expense and keep our instructors going. So $3,400 just for that. And just kind of forecasting out for the rest of the class, the remainder cost, we'll have about $16,500 invested in whether it's in salaries or expense, kind of an estimated total cost. So that's 16,000 grant, that we traditionally haven't had to spend for the past 8 to 10 years. So the problem again is we're looking to hire more in January, February. If we hire 4 more non-EMTs that we have to reoccur the same expense for, then, it eats up a $11,000 budget in of itself. And I've still got, 50 some other guys that need to be trained and brought up to par on technical aspects and just develop them as firefighters as well. So just trying to educate you guys a little bit on what we're managing and kind of preparing you that we might ask for some more money next budget for training purposes. And it's, I want you guys to look at it as another investment. It's us having to do business. It's us keeping our high standards, our high expectations, and really just, we had to change the way we did things because we wanted good caliber individuals, and everybody else was out in front of us dropping their ages and stuff like that. So we had to do what we had to do, and it did pay off. We did get good individuals, but it comes at a cost. And I just kind of wanted to put some numbers to it and allow you to see that. So
Chief, I think the council members would be interested, and I am too. Since the raise has been granted, has that made an impact on the recruitment process? Did you see an immediate result from that raise in terms of that process?
I think we started advertising at the end of last month, and we're running an application period through this month. We hit it on Facebook pretty hard, pretty quick. Seemed like there was a lot of movement there, shares, likes, that kind of stuff. I did check with Megan on Monday, and I haven't had a opportunity to check with her again, but as of Monday, we had 12 applicants. So that's not necessarily good, but it's, that's a front end surge. I would think people tend to procrastinate and wait till the end. So I would hope that, we get a surge here towards the end of the month to fill that up. Most processes over the past 6-8 years, we've gotten about anywhere from 50 to 60, 65 applicants. And then we conduct a written test, we conduct a oral interview. There's a state mandated physical that they have to participate in and pass. So it's just kind of the process that we have. And at the end of it, we usually cycle down to about 20 candidates, quite honestly. Between the written, people don't show up for the written test for one. You'll lose 6, 8, 10 people that just don't show up for that. You'll have a handful of people fail the test. Some of them won't pass CPAT. And it usually trickles down to honestly about 20 to 25 folks to hire from. So
You need a big pool.
yeah, I remember the days when it was
process.
100 people lined up for the physicals here, and you were competing with constantly 60 to 100 people for a job. So, but things have changed. That the retirement, some of the benefits, some of the there's a variety of reasons why we don't get that. But I think again the $5,000 will help us. It'll help retain people, but I think it will also entice people to come to us because we do have a good reputation and they know we're a solid department. And then, if we can get back to the plan and get to where the plan suggested that we be, I think that's another huge step. So, and it will definitely help at that point. So,
Can you keep us up to date on how that's going? I think that's something we're all interested in.
yes. Outside of that, I just more or less general discussion, and we're dealing with obviously we've all been dealing with COVID for the past 7 months, 8 months, whatever it's been now, but we've been pretty fortunate and avoided we've had a few scares to some extent that a family member may have tested positive or was getting tested, and everything ended up working out in our favor. But we've actually, we've gotten grazed by a bullet here. We do have some direct effects with COVID at the moment, and we're dealing with those. And so far, so good. It's just one isolated incident, but another family matter. So we kind of got two fronts that we're working on there, and just kind of keeping our fingers crossed that that's where it stays. But outside of that, I'm open to any questions or conversations that you guys have at the moment.
Eric and I talked yesterday about his COVID situation, and he is having to very sensitively manage through some situations to make sure he's got manpower and is protecting everybody else. But we talked about, I can't imagine a more difficult environment where people have to live together, eat together. It's almost like another family that you're completely exposed to. They've taken real precautions, and I'm proud of the fact that they've now gotten grazed, but that can have an immediate impact on this department. And Eric's managing that real closely, and I wanted you all to know that.
Yeah. And one ally that we've had throughout this is ServPro. Since we've started, they've actually come in once a month on a regular schedule to just disinfect our trucks, our stations. We ask our guys to do that daily, twice a day, just kind of wipe down touch points, things of that nature. But ServPro comes in and kind of goes through all 3 stations and takes care of us, all the trucks as well. Anytime we've had a potential scare, and even recently with our direct hit, so to speak, they've dropped what they've done and come to us and immediately kind of disinfected the station where that individual was at. And I can't thank them enough. They've been a tremendous ally through this, and it helps reassure our guys in that we're trying to do what we can to protect them. And we've got Tim working closely with the health department and other providers So anytime that we need to be tested or have a potential scare, the health department or the urgent treatment centers worked well with us to try to accommodate any needs or requests that we have. So it's been a chore, but it's just part of it, I guess. But it's fortunately we've been lucky thus far, and even though we're dealing with it now, it could be much worse. So.
Sounds good. Thank you. Karen, Mark, any questions or comments that you all have on your mind this morning?
Just what Eric showed us, will we get a copy of that, or have you sent a copy of that?
I can email that over to everybody.
Yeah, I'd like to see it a little closer.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I guess kind of looking around the room here, I know, one thing that we are getting ready to do, and with school getting back in service and all the virtual learning, October is fire prevention month, so we haven't really got to do what we normally do. Unfortunately, get out and play with the kids and try to educate them. So we do have some virtual classroom type material that we're sending out to the school system, so the kids can at least, it's going to be teacher dependent to some extent, but we still will be in touch with the students, trying to get a message out there to provide a little bit of life safety for those individuals in our community. But again, that's something that, we just with this COVID stuff going on, is just something we clearly didn't have an opportunity to do. But even if we do, we've tried to be so precautious on our end, so safe and protect our folks that, we would restrict that probably anyway, to be cautious and try to dodge that bullet for longer, so it's but it is an investment that we're making, that we're going to share with the school systems, and the kids can hopefully benefit from it.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame you can't do that. And I understand why you can't do it. You're not going to do it, but the kids have some fun seeing the trucks and you take the dog thing and all that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully this will end soon and we can have a big safety day and catch up.
Parades downtown again with
Yeah.
crowds. That'll really be fun. I want the committee to know, I've discussed this with Eric on several occasions. I've gotten, over the last month or 6 weeks, I've gotten several emails from either health officials or community members who have let me know that as they observe first responders, they sometimes have concern about some first responders not being consistent with wearing masks. And the public notices this. But every time I've been contacted, the folks have praised the Georgetown Fire Department for never seeing our people out in public without a mask. Even in crowds where other first responders are present and not wearing their mask, I've received compliments about our fire department's behavior on that, Chief. So you've given that message very clearly, and the public is noticing.
Well, thank you. It's been challenging, and the guys don't particularly always like it, but they're doing what they're asked to do, and we appreciate that of them, because it is. Yeah, they're in that crowd. They see who else is not wearing it, and but they've always done what we've asked them to do, and we appreciate that. So, and we appreciate the feedback from you that it is recognized and appreciated. So,
yeah. Mark, any questions you have this morning?
This has been really good information, Chief, and your staff. Thank you for that information. The only thing I would ask, and I know the mayor has already mentioned it, please keep us posted on the recruiting numbers and applicants that you're getting in. That is very important to know, so we can talk amongst ourselves on, what options we.
No, I would definitely do that. I'll get you an update. First of each week, I'll let you know how many we got. So,
Okay,
and
thank you.
again, that we're cutting that off October at the end of October. So, we'll see how many we got. Again, it is really sad. I mean, I remember when I got hired, it was a requirement to be a certified firefighter and EMT, and there were 100 people lined up, and we've dropped so many requirements and the age restrictions and stuff like that. It's still just able to muster up 50, 60 applicants. It makes it tough. So especially when you're hiring, 5, potentially, maybe more, 6, 7 positions. You'd like to have a larger pool to choose from. But
Will, if needed though, can you extend that deadline out if needed?
yeah, I feel like if we don't have an adequate number, or what I feel is an adequate number, I would extend that out a little bit. Maybe run it through middle of November or through November. My thoughts are to try to start a class January, February, so we got to allow time for the written test and the interviews and all that kind of stuff with the holidays. So it's if I don't have a number that I'm satisfied with, I'll extend it for a bit.
One last question for you. I know you mentioned Facebook as a form of advertising. What other advertising methods are we using right now?
I know Megan has used a couple of her avenues that she normally posts in. We Handshake, and like I said, we've shared it with BCTC, EKU, which is a fire-based college. Both of those have some sort of fire classes involved with them. Going around to gyms in the area, facilities like that, try to catch a younger crowd. Georgetown College posting a few things. We're actually meeting. We've talked with Damian Nichols over at Ed Davis Learning Center. We were going to kind of attend the volleyball game that they were going to have last weekend, to just kind of walk the crowd. Me and Assistant Chief Gifford was just going to kind of walk the crowd, hand out some stuff for the kids, and kind of just create some conversations there. We're actually going back Saturday for a little discussion with a group there to plant some seeds and try to get some interest in that area involved in our department for the future. So we don't have a lot of money in the advertising ways either, so we just kind of stick to the grassroots and whatever Megan normally does, that she pushes that out, and then we just try to hit it hard in the areas that we feel like we can receive some good applicants from.
Mark, the judge and I for 3 months now have been meeting every Tuesday night for an hour and a half on Zoom with a community group that was formed by the NAACP to look at racial issues and policies and procedures and things of that nature. And Megan pulled together a real detailed report on how we advertise for police. And I'll check with Megan to see. I would think we follow the same advertising for the fire. Very specifically, Mark, there's at least one place where we advertise specifically for the purpose of reaching minority candidates. We know that's an issue that the chief is ready to work on and willing to work on. One of our advertising areas is geared toward minority recruitment as well. So we still haven't seen all the results from that, but I think we're being very methodical about how we're advertising to attract a diverse pool and as good a pool as we can.
And I'm networked pretty well with other communities and departments across the state, and it's not just us, it's the fire service in general is having the same problems we're having. Obviously the areas where you pay more, you get a few more applicants, but everybody is having the same struggles that we have. And with Georgetown's unemployment rate being relatively low because of Toyota and other things, that we don't we have to be a little creative, and a lot of times what used to come from Georgetown is coming from other communities. So, but that's not a bad thing either, and we'll continue to keep pressing, keep trying to be creative in ways to get that application number up, give us more quality individuals to choose from.
Eric, why has there been a change for firefighters or for people wanting to go into that occupation?
Well, I think part of it is retirement. The hazardous duty, the 20-year retirement doesn't exist anymore. It's a hybrid 25, 27-year plan. So that's one thing. Most cities have years ago, our benefits were excellent. I mean, you didn't have to pay a dime. And that's changed for us a little bit. Other communities, it's changed more. So benefits aren't what they used to be in this field. So they got to work longer, fewer benefits. Again, pay has an impact. When I got on Georgetown, we actually made more money than Lexington at that time. That has obviously changed, and a lot of other communities that have also moved away from us. So I think the pay will help fix some of that for us. But just in general, the fire service alone, it's retirement, it's benefits, it's quite frankly, you're going to work for $40,000, $50,000 a year, $60,000. I mean, you work your way up through the chain and you make more money, but there's a lot of hazards with this job, and cancer's a real thing, and this job is very prone to that. And people can do a lot of other things that don't have quite the hazards and make more money. So I don't really have a true reason, but those are just a few of my beliefs on why our pool is down.
Okay.
Donna, anything you got for that we need to know?
No, I'm good.
Andrew, I assume you're listening in.
Now he gave me the host rights. He had to hit the road and go do something else. So it's just us.
So it's just us. Okay. Well, you're in control of the console then. Eric, are there other topics we need to cover this morning, or do you think you pretty much covered things the way you wanted to?
No, like I say, I think we're good. I kind of covered just kind of wanted to prepare you guys for a request that's going to come in the future financially. Other than that, I mean, just kind of general conversation, and I feel like we've covered that.
Yeah, we'll be shocked when you ask for more money later.
And Mayor, if you don't mind, just give me a call back, or I can call you, and just when this concludes, I've got a quick question or two for you on another matter. But
I'll be glad to catch up. Committee, thank you very much. And Eric, if you'll send out your slides to everybody.
I will.
Makes me feel better for you and the fire department know that you're joined in that room by two assistant chiefs. And you've got your management structure built the way you want it to. So I think that's a real positive thing for us to know this morning.
It's great to have a team in place now, and ready to just keep grinding, keep doing what we've been doing, but have a team to really be successful and accomplish much more. So.
That's good. If there are any other questions for Eric, Craig, if not, I can get to my 9 o'clock on time. And Karen can go back to fixing around.
Y'all have a good day then.
Thank you, Karen. See you.
All right, bye.